Hello. Domnilor și domnilor, îmi place mult cum sună limba română. Însă nu pot spune mai multe deoarece atât a reușit Flaviu să-mi traducă. There is actually more, but I'm not very sure, and I think he played a joke on me. Okay. Thank you for the welcome. I'm going to answer you two questions which you didn't ask me, but which I'm sure you will be interested in the answer, and I am also confident you can get some very personal advice or personal knowledge out of it, maybe a tip for the future. We're talking about the monetary system. We're talking about gold in the monetary system. So we want to have a look at the history of money. I'll give you a history of money in 5 minutes. Actually, these are the two questions. Why would a combination of gold and paper money bring more financial security for you personally and for the whole society? And why is the Swiss Gold Coin Initiative important for the whole world? We have 4 steps from gold to paper money, and we look at the first step a bit more closely because that's where it all begins. Gold as a medium of exchange, of course, starts with exchange. We have direct exchange. I have an apple, you have an orange, and if you want the orange and I want the apple, then we exchange it and we're both happy. That's a direct exchange. Usually that doesn't happen like this. Usually people don't want at the same time exactly what the other person has. For example, if I don't want your orange, but you want my apple, I can use the orange as a medium of exchange to get something else. Throughout history, almost everything has been used as a medium of exchange, from cowrie shells to furs, to tobacco, to cows. But obviously some things are more suitable as a medium of exchange. For example, a cow is not very useful. If I go shopping with a cow and I buy something here and something there, and I buy an egg here and I cut off a piece, and a cake there and I cut off a leg, at a certain point the cow will lose value very quickly. So the divisibility is one criteria. Durability is another criteria. If I use eggs, after a week and the eggs start reeking, they're not also not useful. Then transportability is a criteria for a good medium of exchange, for an exchange good. Also that it's accepted everywhere. Why do I elaborate? Because throughout the centuries, there has been a natural selection process from all of the goods known to mankind, and the precious metals, gold, silver, copper, they are the most useful media of exchange. They combine the quality for an ideal medium of exchange, transportability, divisibility, and so on, all of these things, more than anything else. And of course, gold coins, silver coins, and so on. I'm going to leave silver and copper out just for simplicity's reason. They are just the easiest way of the easiest units to recognize how much I really get. So gold coins are the quote-unquote natural money, the natural medium of exchange, and the important thing is this is still true today. If there is no other good, no other commodity known to mankind so far that has better monetary qualities, better media of exchange qualities. That's why gold will always have a special place in all of the goods known to mankind. So the second step, so from 700 before Christ until 1500 after Christ, till the discovery of America, the whole world was more or less on a gold coin standard. And with the discovery of America, with big shipments, big amounts of gold coins had to be moved, and the merchants got the idea to deposit it with their goldsmiths, to put it in a bank, and the goldsmiths would issue receipts, coupons, banknotes. Those were the first banknotes, and people would trade with these banknotes instead of the gold coins themselves. Then we have the next step is the number 3 on the graph. That's a classical gold standard, a so-called partial reserve system, or a fractional reserve system, of course. That means that The banknotes still look the same, and you can change them into gold anytime, anywhere in the world. But part of the banknotes are backed by debt, by bonds, by whatever. This was a classical gold standard. It lasted until 1914. All through the 19th century, 1815, 1914, there was a worldwide money gold standard. Paper tickets would circulate side by side with gold coins, and it wouldn't make a difference. You had the Latin gold coin union, and you would have the same gold coins all over Europe, and so on. After 1914, there's a step-by-step coming away from the gold standard until 1971. In 1971, with the breakdown of the Bretton Woods system, the last tie to gold was cut. So we have the number 4 system, a so-called fiat money system, where all of the money is only backed by debt, which in turn means you can produce as much money as you want, because you can also produce as much debt as you want. The thing is, if we look at this graph, it's perfectly clear that should the paper money system overnight disappear, what will be the choice once again? What's the best medium of exchange? It's gold again. Not that I expect it or hope that it'll break down. I don't make any predictions. But here we have the historic record. We have the price level, prices in England since 1265. And you can clearly see until about 1700, we have a gold coin standard. We have a 100% gold standard. Then we have the first fluctuations. That's the classical gold standard, the Napoleonic War, World War I, that little dent there. That's during wartime, you would have inflation, and then you would have declining prices again. And after 1971, of course, prices went wild. There's no indication that they're going to go anywhere else. Now, here comes something that most experts don't really understand. It's too simple. Gold in 1971 has acquired a completely new function. Before, it was an anchor. It was part of the monetary system. It was in the third quartile there. While since 1971, it is outside of the money system. It is potential money. You can see that it perfectly clear in the gold price until 1971. It was fixed at $35, and since then the gold price is nothing but a temperature curve for the confidence in the future of the monetary system. If the paper money system would last forever, the gold price would crash down again. But since people are a bit wary, maybe paper money is not the last solution for humankind. You see that clearly, that in good times, like in the 80s, in the 90s, the great moderation supposedly, you have a falling gold price, while in the 70s, double-digit inflation in the United States, inflation and joblessness, and since the financial crisis, you have a climbing gold price again. And now, and this, in turn, logically implies that it makes sense for long-term saving to have some gold as part of your savings plan. Namely, as the safeguard, as a safety belt, not as part of your regular savings, just in case things go really, really bad. I've made some very precise calculations for a savings plan for somebody who would retire in 2013. These are Swiss numbers. It doesn't matter, it would look the same anywhere. The numbers will be a bit different. We have the red line, that is paper savings with interest. So you would get 350,000 units when you retire in this example, at 65 last year. And you can see if you had invested everything in gold, in good times, the gold price falls, and the purchasing power of your gold, although you keep investing, when the gold price declines, the purchasing power of your savings also decline. But in times of crisis, like in the 70s and like since the financial crisis, the gold purchasing power rapidly and easily exceeds the purchasing power of the paper savings. And this logically also leads to the next slide, which says that if you have, for example, 10% of your savings in gold, in good times, it'll be less than 10%. In good times, you don't need it. But in bad times, it may easily and quickly be 20, 30% of your savings. And that's when you need it. Now, if this is, we have scientific proof of, scientific support for this idea also on our website. You can get all these graphs in detail, and also a German article in our leading economic newspaper by maybe the leading economist in Switzerland that's still alive. He supports our argument. Now, if this is true, why? So the first question, why does a gold-money combination give more security? Because gold is the ultimate alternative, safeguard, diversification, the best diversification for crisis in the whole paper system. Because if the whole paper system goes into crisis, you cannot protect yourself with paper assets. It's logically impossible. Why don't people do that more often? And here we come to the second question. Why is the Swiss Gold Coin Initiative important for the whole world? Problem is that to use gold today as your saving plan for a pension plan, as part of your savings for a pension plan, it is a bit impractical. We get to that, but especially the legal certainty in the future is worldwide. If we look at history, it would make us worry. Because governments, when it comes to protecting their money interests, they know no limits. For example, in the German hyperinflation in 1923, gold coins, of course, could not be used. They had to use a worthless paper, but we don't have to go that far back. 1936, of course, once against the Nazis, they were pretty radical. They just declared the possession of gold as a economic sabotage, and you can imagine what penalty was in that. But even in America, supposedly capitalistic country, 1933, when the American government wanted to get off the gold standard, when they wanted to get the paper, devalue the paper of gold, then gold would have been hidden. So they collected all of the gold of their citizens. They nationalized all of the gold dollars, and the gold possession for American citizens was illegal until 1976. And now in 2012, if you think that's all history and theory, you can read that yourself. Hidden way down in the Obama healthcare plan is a provision that you have to report any gold sales or buys above $600 per year to the government. If they're ever going to collect it again, at least they will know where to look for it. Now, this is what, in Switzerland, we have a tradition of a free flow of goods and capital. But even in Switzerland, we have, of course, the condition that gold coins, the production of gold coin is illegal. The production of gold coin is worldwide a state monopoly, and of course, states don't want to make a competition to their paper money. They don't call coin any useful coins anymore. And the tax-free status of gold is written in an ordinance. Ordinances, they can be changed by the administration. So if the administration is in a bad mood, theoretically, they can impose taxes without asking anybody else. So this leads in Switzerland, for example, and this is the case more or less all over the world, to the fact that only 13% of the people do possess gold, and that the savings, of course, long-term savings, are always in danger of being threatened. Now, what we want to do with this gold coin initiative is very, very simple. We want to legalize the private production of gold coins, of practical, useful gold coins, and we want to take the legal provisions from the ordinance into the Constitution. I'll maybe tell you at the end why this is possible in Switzerland, and probably, maybe only in Switzerland. It's not my fault. This is an idea of how we envision these coins could look like. They're standardized. On the one side, the government decides on how they should look. On the flip side, the private issuer would take responsibility of who issued them. And you would have gold coins, gold core coins, 0.1 gram of gold. That's a value of about $5. So you could get standardized from $5 on, you can get standardized gold coins out of a ATM machine instead of paying like $200 now for the popular gold coins in Switzerland. And the other thing, of course, is the legal provision, as I said, enshrined in the Constitution, because people always tell me, what's the fuss about this idea? I can go to the bank and buy gold bullion, or I can buy golden eagle and Kruger Rand and stuff. What is the difference? Here I have summarized the difference, which is fundamental. Today, gold is relatively hard to understand. If I go to the bank, they ask me, do you want an ETF? Do you want which kind of coins? Ounces, ever heard of ounces, and so on. So you need expert advice to buy gold today. It's relatively impractical. It's relatively expensive. Even 1 gram gold is like $50. And of course, the legal certainty is on a very shaky basis, as I already mentioned. This is what we will change. We will make gold as easily understandable, as easily accessible, as familiar as dollars and euros. And this, of course, will lead to the fact, probably to the fact that 90% of the people will possess gold, and only then is the tax-free status politically safe. And if we put it in the Constitution, that's about the maximum protection we can have. So the two answers to your not-asked questions. Why is a combination of gold and paper bring more security? Because gold is the natural money and therefore the best alternative and diversification to paper money. Why is the Swiss Gold Coin Initiative important for the whole world? Because easy, practical, and constitutionally protected Swiss gold coins would make gold accessible to everybody and offer protection from inflation and confiscation worldwide. That includes Romania, that includes Turkey, that includes India and China, where they're already safe with gold, but it'll make gold much, much more accessible, much easily affected. And this, by implication, also means that there will be more economic security, more economic stability for the economic system. There are some more arguments to elaborate on that, but I think this is the essence. I hope I could get it across clearly. Thank you.